everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome to our first episode of the Lightworkers Lounge. In this series, Donna Marie and I come together and we have amazing guests come on the show and we just have fun discussions. Today, our topic is going to be the Akashic Records, and we have two amazing guests with us today that Donna Marie will introduce in just a minute. But I just kind of wanted to tell a little bit about the show. So we're just going to be having discussions about Akashic Records tonight. But we encourage you to, if you have questions about the Akashic Records, we're not doing readings or answering specific personal questions throughout the show. But if you have any questions that you are curious about, have any comments about the Akashic Records or experiences, please put them in the chat because we would love to hear from you. We would love to hear your stories. I just want to... we'll say the hellos when everybody pops in. We'll say hi to everybody when people pop in. But so no actual personal questions tonight. Just any questions, information that you have on the Akashic. We would love to hear from you. But one very, very, very lucky winner at the end of the show will win an Akashic record reading from Linda and Diane. Oh, I just blew our guests. Sorry. Yeah. One lucky winner will so type in hashtag Akashic and we will be collecting those hashtags throughout the show. So I'm going to hand it over to Donna Marie and let her introduce our guests.
Thank you very much. Hi everybody. So we have two very, very special guests tonight on our very first podcast, or our very first live on the Lightworkers Lounge. So I would like to introduce you to you is Linda D. Gonzalez. She is an Akashic record master. Welcome, Linda.
I'm not a master.
Reader. I'm sorry. There you go.
I'm a reader. I'm an apprentice. Yeah. Hi everybody.
Linda not only does the Akashic records, but sometimes she does get mediumship. Sometimes she's a very excellent reader. She can pick up energies. She has read for a lot of people that I know that are blown away with your readings, especially with the Akashic records. And then, of course, you're on with Gerald at, and you have Laugh and Learn. You have so many different venues that are going out there that you are teaching people. You're doing readings. So, Linda, welcome to the Lightworkers Lounge. We are very happy to have you on.
Thank you so much for having me, for inviting me. This is a real honor for me. This is the launch of a new series. That's so exciting.
Yeah, thank you. And then our second guest tonight is Linda G. or Diane G. Sorry. Oh my gosh, Linda G. Oh, here
She's
I go.
Got Linda on the brain.
You're a master and you're Linda G. What a magic. Oh, look, it's not. So Linda or Diane G is one amazing energy worker. She can remove blocks, energy that is Diane G does Akashic records. You also do you have your is it Saturdays? What day do I see you? I'm sorry.
It's on Sunday. It's on Sundays.
On Sundays.
On your side of the planet.
Yes.
It's on Mondays during my time. So, hi everyone.
Yeah, Diane is an amazing reader. If you get a chance to have a session with Diane, you also go into the galactic where we come from. Like there is more to our lives than just what we have had on this earth. And Diane can tell you where you're from, and through the Akashic records as well, is how it taps into your what you do now, how it affects your life now. Diane blew me away with, I had a personal reading, and it when she was talking about this stuff, I was like, I don't know much about that. But then when she started talking about what I had experienced, then it made sense and it all connected. So everybody, I would like to have you all welcome Diane G. Thank you for joining us today, Diane.
Thank you so much for having me and for that wonderful introduction, Donna.
I'm sorry, I'm tripping up. So can you explain a little bit of more of what all you do, Diane? Because it is just huge of what you do.
Yeah, I'm an emotional energy healer. At least that is my specialty. So, healing past life trauma or removing and clearing past life traumas and trapped emotions from past lives is my specialty. So, if you're wondering, like, why do I fear this or why am I a certain way in this lifetime, perhaps it's tied up to a past lifetime and we can go through the Akashic records for that. So, that's what I do. And I also do energy healing work. Um, to unblock chakras and balance them for the person's highest good. Yeah, so I also do other types of energy clearings like ancestral trauma clearings and like removing dark galactic implants as well and other stuff, other energy healing stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Diane. So I'm going to pass this now back over to Sara.
Just want to say hi to everybody that has joined us. We have so many. We have Bor. I have to say hi. You were here before any of us were here today. Hi, thank you for joining us. We have Lee, Marie, Stacy, Linda, Butterfly Readings, Christine, Gary for Grace, Venus, Denise, Gerald. There's so many people. Just thank you so much for joining us and hanging out with us on our I just had an idea and I thought we'd try it out and see how it worked. So I think it's working good so far. We have two wonderful guests. So the first thing that we're going to do is if you have any questions about the Akashics, any comments, go ahead and put them in. And Donna Marie is going to kind of lead the question discussion and I'll be popping up your questions throughout the evening, throughout the time we're here. So want to start with your questions, Donna Marie?
I sure do. So the first question is, did you want to pop it up on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget, everybody, pound or hashtag Akashic if you want to have your name in the draw at the end of the show. So my question to both Diane G and Linda, what are the Akashic records for those of us who don't know that, would like to have a little more education on what are the Akashic records? And why would we want a reading?
You go, Diane.
Okay, so the Akashic Records is like an energy imprint. It's everything that has ever happened and everything that you have ever felt. And it doesn't just include this lifetime, it includes all your other lifetimes. And it doesn't include just yours. Everyone else who has incarnated ever has some input in the Akashic record. So it's not a literal place where you keep it. When I think of the Akashic records, I think of it as a cloud, like a storage cloud that we know. We upload things on the cloud as a storage device or a storage place that's not tangible per se. And then when we need the information or we need the file, we just download it from the cloud. So the Akashic records kind of works that way, except we don't need to like upload it, upload the knowledge, upload the feelings, upload the experiences. They automatically get imprinted on the cloud. That is the Akashic records.
Yeah, and that's absolutely true. The other thing is that absolutely everything in existence has an Akashic record. A rock, if you really want to know what it's like to be a rock for 600 billion years, you can read the Akashic records of a rock. People's, like buildings have Akashic records. Now, we're probably going to touch on this when we talk about the ethics of Akashic records, but if a building is owned by someone, you need the owner's permission. If it's a public building, like a monument or like the in Canada, the Houses of Parliament, go ahead and read them. And I have read buildings. It's very interesting. It's actually, I'm getting chills as I tell you this. The buildings are very, very interesting to read. I think at least the ones I read were.
What buildings have you read? If you wouldn't mind sharing one of your experiences.
Absolutely not. I read my friend Brenda's house in Toronto. because Brenda is my guinea pig for everything.
You always have to have your guinea pig, right?
Yeah, you always got, yeah. I mean, what good's a friend if they're not willing to be your guinea? What kind of friend are they really? So, yeah, so I read her house and I talked about how there was something hurting. It was like a toothache, but it was like not her teeth, obviously. It was like further down, like a toothache in the ankle. Well, it turns out that particular house has a lot of plumbing problems in the basement because it's old. It's like 100 years old, and there's roots in the drains and stuff like that. Anyway, and just I read another building very recently, and made the most wonderful connection with it, and it brought me to tears actually. So yeah, it's fun.
It really is. Especially when something, a place or a land, usually for me it's land. When they carry like a lot of history that we don't know, especially the ones that aren't written, those are very interesting.
Yeah.
Because we rediscover history by going into the Akashic records that we wouldn't otherwise have unless, we make some geological digs from the place. So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I talk to my house a lot, but I never quite thought about going into the records of my house. I might have to try that out because I do talk to it and ask what's going on and why are you making these weird noises and why is this happening? So
the impressions that I get from buildings are very sensory. Okay. So it's very physical, and it's kind of, okay. So of the two buildings that I told you about, the second building, I didn't tell you very much about what it is, but it was a sad building because it used to be filled. It used to be a place for people to come and be healed. And then after that, it was a hotel. And it was sad because there wasn't anybody there anymore. And it was sad because it really loved being a place of healing and sheltering people within it. And now it was just, sleeping, dreaming.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Wow, that's powerful. I felt that when you were saying that. I felt that sadness. That's awesome.
Yeah, she was very sad and lonely. She was lonely. She really wanted her purpose back. And I keep saying she because that's how it felt. It was a feminine energy, a nurturing energy that came across to me. So it's not because I'm arbitrarily assigning it, gender. That was the energy, was absolutely feminine and nurturing and really loving, a really loving place.
Oh, that's wonderful. You opened my eyes to a new thing. Oh.
Yeah. So Diane, when you were talking about land, has there been land that you actually went in and did the Akashic records on that particular land?
Yes. The one that I was thinking of was for a client, and she was having some portal problems in the land. So we went into the history and saw that there was a lot of conflict. And it goes back to the galactic times when some galactic beings were visiting Earth. So that was very memorable reading for me. And the land was also holding on some emotional trauma. So that was very interesting for me.
A question, where I just lost it. Oh, said, okay, so it said, Linda, have you asked the house to help you help the manifestation of achieving your goal?
You're muted, Linda.
That's because I was typing a reply to that question, hoping that you would pick it up. Gerald, you outed me. I was trying to be very discreet and not, toot my horn and tell everybody, oh, pay attention. Okay, so I have a dream. I have found the building. It's Mira Sara. I've talked about it a little bit on my channel and with other people. And that's the building whose energy I visited. what I said to her was that I was on my way, and that I fell in love with that building. Okay. I fell in love with the place. I fell in love with the land. I feel so connected to it, even though I have never had anything to do with Portugal or with even, anybody Portuguese. I don't speak the language, well, except like, please, can I have some coffee? That kind of thing. But I feel so connected to Sara that it takes my breath away sometimes. Anyway, short story. It means I have to raise like $1 million. Yeah, whatever. I told her that I was on my way and that I would do my best to bring her the people that she was so lonely for, that I wanted to make her beautiful again, because it's an incredible building and the property itself is incredible too. Mineral springs, pools, the whole bit. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't ask her to help because I felt that it was my job to help her, So she seemed accepting. She seemed happy that somebody asked about how she was doing. Poor thing.
Yeah.
The house conversation struck up a lot of comments. We have CJ when entering the house, you can feel
Yes.
their energy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Some of them feel very heavy.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah. Usually those are the houses
I've walked up to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've walked
Usually
up to
those are the
doorsteps
houses
and I
that has a
let go.
lot of energy, like history.
I house is a servant's house. Also
Yep.
Underground Railroad.
Thanks for grabbing this one, Sarah. This is the
Mhm.
one I was just looking for.
Yeah.
A
I
house
had a house was built before our nation's independence, 5 bedrooms. It was the Queen of England gift, but my house was the servant's house, and I heard also an underground railroad. I had 15 acres.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
that house
that would be
has a lot of
interesting.
history.
Yeah. That would be interesting to feel that energy, hey?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And to
That'd be
go
interesting
in.
to just go in and read the records and see,
Mhm.
like what went on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Cool.
Kind
died.
of a mixed bag of energies I'm getting from this, because it's like it's like a house that's just seen a lot, but with the Underground Railroad, it's also seen a lot of hope, I think. Like with,
People
I don't
leaving.
even know if that's the right thing to say, like people escaping, like people kind of finding that
Yeah.
the hope for their future by being
Yeah.
released from that.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of fear and a lot of hope. That's just what I imagine. I don't have any idea, but boy, would that be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I heard the
Maybe
underground,
feels.
or when I read the Underground Railroad, I feel like it was like where they escaped.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Kind of that
And
beacon in the darkness, that little
yeah.
shine of light.
And that would almost connect the house and the land, because I bet you that energy there would
In the
be,
basement.
yeah. And
Wow.
you know,
It'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
So there was another comment that came up earlier: Akashic versus Akashic, which I just heard of this. Is that something that you guys are familiar with? Akashic, or is that just a different way of saying it? Probably.
I think that prior to like in the days of Madame Blavatsky, she was the first Westerner to write about the Akashic records. I think that people standardized the spelling after that. I don't know how she spelled it. Well, if it was edited to the modern spelling or what, but that seems like a very old-fashioned kind of Victorian sort of spelling of an Indian word, or a Sanskrit word.
And
the
Gerald
definition.
apologizes for outing you, Linda.
He's not one bit sorry.
It's going to come out eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because I'm starting a Patreon and I'll be publicizing that, and you know, all the steps that I have to take, it'll all come out on my channel. So, you know, I just don't want to steal like the thunder from the show and go off on my little corner.
Yeah. I just wanted to give the definition. So Akashic refers to the Akashic records, a spiritual concept of a compendium of all universal events, thoughts, and emotions, while acoustic, the ECKOUSHIK,
Yeah.
refers to sound, especially music produced without electrical amplification. The two
Never
words are unrelated through is used sometimes. Is sometimes used in the name of recording labels and products.
Okay, she says it's supposed to be a different set of records, so maybe one's vibrational. Is that?
It sounds like that, yeah, because there's music which is vibration, right? Or the vibrations, like our voices are, you know, even when you walk, there's a vibration, compared to where it's the energy of the spiritual concept.
Oh, Iron Firehorse said, there are houses west of me where I used to live that had priest holes in them. The first underground railroad all along the river system.
Wow.
There's so much history out there.
Along the St. Lawrence, Irene? Can you answer in the chat? Was that along the St. Lawrence? Oh, and Gary for Grace has something to say about Akasha as well. I don't know. About the Akashic, I have never heard of any such vibrational record being kept separate from the overall Akashic records. That to me, or to the way from my observation and my experience, if anything, they would be contained within the Akashic records. I mean, I could be wrong, because honestly, this is the first I've ever heard of this. So I would have to, I will have to look into that.
Mm-hmm. Same for me. I haven't heard of the Akashic version.
Yeah.
Although I have heard before that there was like a fake one in the fourth dimension. But yeah, it's just called the fake one. It doesn't have like a specific name. And Akasha, in Sanskrit, it means sky or the ether. That's where the term Akashic records come from.
Awesome. And then CJ is thinking about the Akashic records of their vehicle right now.
Yeah,
we all want to know that.
Yeah. You can look into your vehicle's Akashic record. You can look into your sidewalk's Akashic record. You can look into the Akashic record of that nice tree out on the front boulevard. You know, the rose bush on your neighbor's. Well, that rose bush belongs to your neighbor. You better not be reading that record without your neighbor's permission. So Georgian Bay Collingwood, that's interesting, Iron Fire Horse, because I wonder what the history of that is.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a museum of Black history in those towns. Oh, okay. Because they were the end of the Underground Railroad.
Mm-hmm.
They're across the lake from the border, you know?
I saw a pile of what looks like white plastic plates as I woke. I believe there's some sort of hard drive that I can code on. Anyone have clarity? We're not answering questions today, but I will. In case you're the lucky winner of the reading tonight, I will star that for later. I think it's time to move on to the question of the day.
The question of the day.
The question of the day.
You have a question of the day?
The question that I think is one of the most important questions when doing any sort of energy work, Akashic records, readings.
Yes.
So let's talk about
the ethical boundaries in reading the Akashic records or anything that you do. what are the boundaries that, like, what ethics do you go by? So Diane G, why don't we start with you on this one?
Yeah. I'm very big on boundaries, especially when I'm doing energy work. Since we get a lot of information when we access someone's energy or energy body, and the same goes with reading the Akashic record. So I always ask for the person's permission. Um, so if you don't give your permission, I don't touch your records. Although there are some gray areas, like for example, a client is asking for a past life with someone, so a past life that they've shared. Since their records contain some parts of that person's records, you can see some past lives or some experiences that they had with your client. So I can read on that. But really going to someone else's records, it's like, no, that's like spying on someone, and it feels very creepy for me. So that's something that I wouldn't do. Um, so yeah, that's one of the ethical boundaries. And Linda was just talking about places a while ago. So there is like a kind of rule for places. So you can have your property or your place or your vehicle to be read on, um, if you're the owner and you give that permission. But if it's just some random place or random building, random vehicle who you don't know who the owner is, no, we're not going to get information on that. Um,
Question just popped up on exactly what you're talking about. So
yeah,
it's fitting. Do our concepts of property ownership
property and ownership.
affect who can access the record to something?
Yes. There are places that are public that we can read on. For example, the historical places like Göbekli Tepe or the rocks. If you're interested in the rocks, then yeah, no one owns that. Owns the rock, so we can read on that. But if it's something that is a property of someone, you need that person's uh, explicit consent so that we can read on that. And for pets, I usually ask the higher self of the pet if they can give me permission to read on them, because it feels odd to ask the owner,
How
the
Yeah.
do you
person's
feel
the
about
pet's person.
how do you feel about if a parent would ask you to read for their child?
Oh no,
If they're a minor child?
no, I don't read on minors as well.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I think there are people who consent to that, but I don't generally read on minors. Usually they are, when someone or a parent asks for a minor's reading, it usually means that they have been coerced. At least from my experience, there's coercion that has happened. So I would stay away from that and really just wait for the person to turn legal. I don't know about you. How about you guys? What's
No,
your rule on
I
that?
agree with that too. I think at a certain point, when depending on how old the person is, they start to understand. And if they're in their, teens and they can comprehend, they can
Yeah.
ask for that reading themselves. But if like someone came in and said, my kid is acting so and so, can you read on them and tell me what's bothering them or what's going on? I would not do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that either.
And it
I,
doesn't just go for the Akashic records, even card readings, energy
Yes,
healings.
absolutely. All of it.
Iron Firehorse just brought up another interesting question at 29 past about
Yes, I was just gonna
relating
pop that up.
property. Okay, so the crown isn't really, it's all of us, okay? Like it belongs to the government of Canada. We call it crown land as a shorthand because back when we were a dominion, before we got our constitution and everything in like 1972 or whenever it was, the they were held in trust for the crown. So they actually belong to the government of Canada. And as far as I'm concerned, me too, I'm the government of Canada, and I can read on crown land all I want. It's publicly owned land, just like a monument, just like the Parliament buildings, because they're owned by the crown. So I feel perfectly fine ethically reading on that. It's not owned by the British monarchy. It's owned by the Canadian government.
Interesting.
Karmic Karen is asking, do we know if if you have a past life with someone through the Akashic records, and that might go also into the ethics? So I'll let either one of you answer that one.
Yeah, you do. If you ask on Akashic Adventures, for example, if you ask, did I tell me about the past lives I've had with my husband, any of us can go in and take a look and tell you about some of the past lives you've had with your husband, because my observation has been that people in your immediate family are people that you've been traveling with through time, like through lifetimes together. You switch roles around. Sometimes you're the grasshopper, sometimes you're the windshield. You're the parent, you're the child, you're the sibling, you're the grandparent, you're the teacher, you're the influential family or something like extended family member, but that group is usually found. It's like 8 or 10 people usually travel together, not all the time. I mean, but I'm sure that it's not all the time, just because everything is possible. But honestly, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen people in a family, like a family relationship, parent, child, sibling, mother, father, grandparent, that did not have a solid history of lifetimes together.
Yeah, true. There's at least one in the family, if not all. There's at least one. And also, have you ever felt that when you meet someone for the first time, you just have this feeling for them that you can't explain? So that's usually an indication that you've had a past life with someone. Like when you meet someone for the first time and you feel like you're besties. So that's usually an indication that you've had a good past life with that person. But sometimes you also meet people and you just get or feel icked for whatever reason. Like, stay on your lane. I don't know why, but stay on your lane. And it could be because of a past life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
or it may simply be because you have very highly attuned intuition, and you know that they're not good for you. Past life, no past life, whatever the hell, doesn't matter. In this lifetime, stay away.
Yeah, in this lifetime. I can't even talk. This lifetime. So if you are to kind of add to what Diane was saying, if you're in the records, looking at someone's records, and they have you can see who they've interacted with through the timeline, but anything beyond that, who the person you've interacted with has interacted with, that's off limits. That's you can't go into that. So you can anything that's with you, right?
I don't understand. Okay, may I repeat that back to you to make sure I understood?
Yes.
When you're going into the records, reading someone's past life, you can tell them who they interacted with. Yes, absolutely. And you can say that was your husband, that was your grandmother, that was your in this lifetime, that's your boss. But you can't go into the boss's life and
you can't go into theirs and then go and see where they've been. So it ends with your timeline, your life.
That's a big no.
No.
I do have a tendency to just vomit words out. They just kind of come out. So if I'm not making sense, just say, slow down. But yeah, so you can see anything that's happened with your timeline, but once it deviates from that, it's off limits.
And saying that you can see anything, that's kind of, well, it's not my experience. You guys, everybody's different, but I see what my masters show me. You know, I don't really get to go in there into that sacred space. I don't get to go in there and say, show me, blah, 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 blah. I go in there and say, this individual would like to know about their history with their child, with about a past lifetime with this child. Can you show me, please? And I see a sort of a it's very cartoony, sort of, in a way. I see kind of like YouTube thumbnails going around in a spiral, and some of them light up, and I can pick from the ones that light up.
That's very cool.
Nice.
I usually just pick the first one.
That might lead us into that one question.
Yes, so we'll just go skip to that one.
Yeah, which is how I was like, how to access the records, but what do you see when you go into the records? Like, how do you see it, and like, how do you access the records? So
yeah, we had a question earlier that I at 503 that I highlighted specifically for this topic. It says, I'm curious how you gain entry individually. Do you all do the same way, or do you want to do different ways?
I think
I do it
some
the
of
way
us
I
do.
was taught, because I'm too chicken to try to change it.
Well, what
Yeah.
works, right? And it works
Yeah.
for a reason.
So if it ain't
Yeah.
broke, don't fix it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It and I think most people do it differently. When I first was learning, I was like, this isn't for me. I don't know how to connect with the records. I wasn't connecting the way that I was learning it, because I have the type of personality that has to recreate things in my own way and do it my way, which is not always the best, but I wasn't connecting. So I had to figure out my own way and how to do it.
So I don't think people connect the same way. Like for me and for other readers I know, we are always in the records. So we don't need to do like the rituals and the prayers, but we do them as a form of protection so that the information that we get will be for the highest good of the client. But also, I've noticed that there are people who can access the records through their dreams. There is a dream show that is hosted by Ali, Terry, Diana Bowles, and Kelly Healer. And I noticed that a lot of people put in dreams that are actually people accessing their records in their sleep. They're remembering past lifetimes through their sleep. So there are people who can do that, can access their records through their sleep.
Yeah. And some people just come across it naturally, like Tarot Stash. He accesses the records in his own way. And it's not like any way I ever heard of before. Not that I researched it deeply or anything, but it's effective, and he's genuinely reading the records.
Mm-hmm. So there is no right or like standard way of doing it.
Mm-hmm. If you want to learn how to do it, Dragonfly Crystals, Val has a course that she gives, and it's effective, and it works for most people who take it. There are a few people who, for whatever reason, can't access the records using that method, but it's very quick and very easy. Yeah. So if that's something you want to try, take her course.
I think she does it quarterly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah, she has them. She offers them quite often. Because when I was first taught, it was like, okay, you're coming to this large marble building, blah, blah, blah. But if I go into my Akashic records, I literally can see old scrolls. There's an old door. But when I go into someone else's, it's like a download. It's like you get that.
Whoa. Yeah.
So it's different. Like, because I can't access it. When I go to this marble building, it's nothing. It's hollow. It's echoey. And I'm like, okay, there's nothing here. But if I step back and go, okay, show me. So it's a different. What about you, Sara?
At first I thought I wasn't seeing anything at all. I wasn't. And then I started seeing neurons, like just neurons flashing on and off, on and off. And then it turned into a spider that was just kind of weaving a web. And as it was going along, the web was weaving. So that's what I see when I enter the records. And I actually have where is it? I don't know where it went. I have, this is kind of what I see. So this is calligraphy stone, or Miriam stone is another name for it. And it's helps you access the Akashic records. That's what it does. And that's kind of what I see. It's like a mesh of just lines everywhere, just different. And then I get channeled hits that come through.
Awesome.
And feelings. Yeah. It took me a long time to actually realize that I was accessing it, because I was not seeing it the way others were. And it kind of took me a while to realize I had to do it my own way.
Thank you to Gerald, because I thought I was just the odd man out, and thank you for saying they were very similar. So thank you. Yeah, but isn't it interesting how each one of us has slightly a different way?
Mm-hmm.
How we, it's almost like, well, you got this kind of brand of TV, I got this kind of brand of TV, and we all have a different view of the,
Yeah, but they're all broadcasting from the same place, from the same station.
Exactly. But you're getting a different channel, but you're still getting because say Linda picked up like from the 1800s, but I picked up from 6000 AD or 600 AD, sorry. So it's kind of like where you hit kind of thing.
Well, and this brings up, if I may take over the channel for a second. This brings, I want people to know we have a practice group for Akashic Records readers. It's free. Anybody who's completed Val's class can join us, and it's strictly for practice. One of the things we do in practice is so it's a really small group, all right, like 8 people. And when there's an even number of people there, then we break into breakout rooms and we read for each other, and we practice reading that way. But when it's an uneven number of people, we stay in the main Zoom thingy, and we read on a topic. Diane is the guardian of the job jar.
Oh yeah, where's the jar?
We have a list of topics that people have brought up and said, would you read on this? Would you read on that? We've read on Göbekli Tepe. We read on Antarctica a couple of times, and Atlantis and the moon and a bunch of other stuff like that just was of interest to a member of the group. Well, so it becomes, after 2 or 3 of these, it becomes really apparent that every one of us has, there's a Rudyard Kipling story about 12 blind men looking at it, or 6 blind men, however many, looking at an elephant. And one is feeling the tail and says, oh, it's long like a snake, and it's this and that. And then the blind man at the front says, no, it's not skinny. It's big and fat and very muscular, and so on and so forth. And all of us readers, the things that we get paint not a complete picture, but a patchwork picture of what it is we're reading about. It's a powerful, powerful experience to see that happen. And so, yeah, we really like doing that.
Yeah.
I hope, because otherwise, like, why would we bother? But yeah.
Pamela was asking, I would love to join practice. She mentioned a while ago that she took the class. So if someone has already taken the class, Val's class, and wants to practice, email Linda.
Email me. I'll send you the Zoom link. We meet Sundays at 5 Pacific time. And classes, I'm quite the disciplinarian about keeping to time. And so I try very hard to keep to 1 hour. Sometimes I'm more successful than others, but I do make a real big effort to do that.
Yeah. and we've had some really amazing sessions. I have to admit, I'm not as gifted as most in there. I just get these little tiny little bits, and then
He's
they should.
lying.
Yes. But
What,
you
Donna?
We all
is that
disagree with that statement.
Is that a liar, liar, pants on fire?
Okay, so
I've been paired with Donna Marie a few times, and she's good.
yeah,
Everyone, she
so
is
have I, and
good.
she's good. Okay, she's
But
scary good. So like,
Yeah,
don't listen to her. She's just
she's
no,
being
like
modest and
she's squat. She's
humble.
being modest and humble. Yeah, she's being Canadian. Good for you.
but like when I'm in there with you guys and you guys like see so much and I'm like, okay, so I'm in here and I'm like, hello, hello, hello. And it's like, and it takes a long time before anything kind of shows up. And I feel like
It's okay.
I'm very novice at it yet. And I'm just like, I'm just going to put on my little training wheels. So if anybody wants to join in, the training wheels are, put them on and come on in and practice and have fun.
Yeah, because practice is really important. If you take the course and you don't do anything with it, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to pick it up in 6 months. I'm just speaking here. This is just me. I'm not giving you any messages from anybody. This is just Linda, and I only know what I know. But honestly, if you don't use it, you lose it. Truth.
Yes.
Truth. So as soon as you take the class, the sooner after you take the class that you join the practice group, the better it is for you overall, because in a year it will be really tough for you to
To recall the class.
yeah. So
I think that because I felt the same way. When you're around amazing readers, you kind of get a little more critical about your readings because they're different. They're not the same.
it's okay
But
though.
Donna Marie, you are freaking amazing.
The thing is that the readings are different for everybody. Everybody picks up on something different, and we don't get a lot of, when we do these, we don't get a lot of choice about what we're shown. Okay, we let the masters know what we're looking at, and please show me something that I can share with the group that will increase our knowledge about Göbekli Tepe. Well, there was some really weird stuff that came out about Göbekli Tepe, I'll tell you. And yeah, Val just did another class, I believe in October, in the middle of October. I don't recall exactly. So it will probably be December or January before she does another one. But honestly, the practice group it's not about how good you are, okay? And it's not about wowing everybody with like channeling Kahula from the outer Zargon system. It's about connection with spirit, with the Akashic records, and being able to communicate your information. It's not how much, it's not what kind, it's connecting and communicating. And that's what requires the practice. Learning to tell the difference between your voice and your imagination from spirit, from the Akashic masters, from what you're being shown from the records. That's a critical part of our development.
Because we have all these different gifts and different clairs in how our intuition works. So for me, I really feel sensations, which is what we call clairsentient. And I also feel emotions, which is clairempathy. So it's not just seeing it in your mind's eye or hearing things. We need to learn how to take everything into account and really form like a cohesive story for our client to understand. So I think that's where the practice really helped me a lot.
Yeah. I agree with that. I was gonna ask you guys, in my experience, this is what I've come to understand is the message, like let's say we're all doing a reading for the same person. I think the message comes differently based on who's reading it, because we're going to comprehend different things. We have different experiences that we can tap into to deliver that message.
That's right. That's my understanding as well.
Well, awesome.
Yeah, and there's
go.
Yeah, and there's things that like I see like with when I'm doing some of this, and it's like I don't understand what that is, but I try and explain it, and then someone goes, "Oh, well, it's such and such," and I go, "Of course it is," but you know, and that happens a lot with the practice on Sundays, and that's why I like showing up to the practices, is because with such gifted people there, you feel safe. And that's what, Linda, that's what you do. You and Diane, you give us a safe space to come in and practice. And we can be like, I'm getting nothing, or, hey, like, it's just, on the head. Right.
Yeah. I see another question here from someone. Peace says, I get the physical symptoms of some, and I don't care for that part. You can ask your masters to hold back on that, and they will. When I read online, I have a deal with the masters that they're not going to show me any gory things or anything that I can't publicly share. Okay. I won't see that. I can infer it because I have a brain, and thinking powers, or more or less, but I won't be shown it. I won't be given a graphic sort of, that I have to mask my reaction. Okay. Cause like, I can't lie. I mean, you can see my face. I can't lie. And I don't have to mask my reaction, and I don't have to go, oh, and then you died, cause
yeah, that's a really good, agreement to set, is if I cannot share it on a public forum, please do not
show me.
Please do not show it to me, because you want to give the full and truthful reading, but some things just are too private.
Yes.
For this
and not fit for YouTube.
Yeah. They're not fit for YouTube, and they're also very painful for the individual. I will do it in a private reading.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But not publicly. I refuse. I've told. I mean, my masters are very kind to me, and they do that, so I don't have to see it.
I had started a couple of comments earlier on. This one from Patricia. The first time I accessed the Akashic records was through a vision. I came upon golden double doors. They opened automatically. Inside was like an old style library. I was drawn to certain drawer. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's how, it used to be an escalator for me, and now it's just blankness with spider webs.
Yeah.
How it changed.
Interesting.
For me,
it's a hotel.
It's a hotel?
Yeah. And I go in.
I love that.
And then the Akashic Records masters are dressed as a security guard, a receptionist, and a bellhop. And then they guide me through the hotel, and we open doors. So it looks different for everyone.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
For me, it's outer space.
Outer space?
Outer space. The very first time that I accessed the records, the masters were, I was attracted to a really beautiful nebula. You know those pictures of nebulas that you get from the space telescopes? They're green and blue, and they're just beautiful. Okay, well, so that's where I was drawn to. So I flew over there, and there's like 5 or 6 masters. Now in my imagination, because they're energetic beings, okay, and they don't have faces or bodies as such. So my mind dressed them up as monks with hoods and everything. Mm-hmm. And they greeted me with so much love and so much unconditional love. It makes me, it rips my heart now even to talk about it. They said, oh, Linda, you're finally here.
Oh,
And I it was just the kind of love that I'd never experienced before. So am I going to say no to reading the Akashic records? Oh my goodness. No, I'm not going to say no to that. Are you kidding? To be in that field, that state of love. Ah,
That's wonderful, like to be seen and known.
yes. Like no, like that never happens in life, right?
Yeah, or rarely.
Or
Very rarely.
yeah.
I Am Lulu said that I have a beautiful tower of calligraphy stone, Miriam stone. I was very drawn to it, and I didn't know exactly what it was when I purchased it. Yeah, it helps you access the records. It's actually a fossil stone, and this is all like marine and all kinds of different fossils in there. So it has a lot of.
History.
I was attracted to it too, and I don't even really like yellow and red, but it drew me in. Yeah, a lot of history. I love stones. I could go on and on about stones.
It would be interesting for you to delve into the Akashic records of that stone.
Oh my goodness.
Where has it been? How was it formed?
I'm gonna have to try that one.
It's 600 billion years old.
So the first
what stories is it going to tell you?
The first encounter I had with it was my pendulum. So this is the pendulum that I use when I do a lot of my readings because it's just beautiful.
Is that tiger
I'm
sign?
gonna have to do that. No, this is calligraphy stone.
Oh, the same.
Yeah, but it's polished. It's cut and faceted and polished, so it looks.
Awesome.
I don't want to go too close because then my camera will blur.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a beautiful stone. It's a beautiful stone to work with.
Huh.
Let's see. I think we have
I think this weekend is another Vancouver gem show.
I wish we had good gem shows out here. I'm so jealous.
Yeah. You know, we're already at the hour coming up. Did that go fast or what?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I know.
I thought we were just here for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Should we pick our lucky winner?
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. I think
All
so.
right.
So once again, if you want to get into the draw, it's hashtag Akashic.
All right, let me get rid of this. All right, let's see who the lucky winner is. I don't have it hooked up to wonderful music, so it's just going to be a quiet one.
I can sing.
Come on, Wanda.
Yeah.
Venus,
congratulations.
Venus, let us know that you are here, Venus.
Congratulations.
And Anna Wright is asking, when you started reading, how did you practice?
Me, when I started reading, the practices were held by Val. She was doing them weekly, and then after a few months, she started writing her book, and she said, "Okay, I'm not doing practice anymore. You guys are on your own." And I said, and I asked her if I could continue them, and she said, "Sure." And so that's how they started, or at least that's not how they started. They started with Val. But that's how I started doing them. So
when I started reading, or when I graduated from Val's class, Val already stopped holding the practice sessions, but I was fortunate that I knew Linda de Gonzalez was holding the practice sessions, so I was able to join. So I'm very thankful and I'm very grateful, Linda,
Yes,
that you continued it.
I needed it, and I still do. So
Is Venus?
I've taken every single one of Val's classes, except for the meditation class. I took the Akashic, the mediumship, the channeling. They're amazing.
Are we waiting for Venus? Did Venus?
I don't think Venus is with us still, so I think
So
we're gonna.
we might have So shall we hit the clock?
I think it's time to just. I think it's just time to draw again.
Draw
Okay.
I
again.
don't think Venus is here.
Okay.
All right, let's just pick another.
Drum roll.
Ring.
Yeah, Leah.
Oh, Venus is here.
Oh,
Oh,
Venus
so-
is here.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Yeah,
here.
Venus is here.
Oh,
Okay, Venus is here. All right. Okay.
tough
There
noogies,
she is.
Barry.
All right. Okay, Venus.
So,
So
is she going to ask a question or what exactly?
I
Yeah,
think she's
Venus,
going
do
to
you have a
ask.
specific question?
yeah.
So while
so
she's
Venus-
typing,
Yeah.
please check your subscriptions if you're subscribed to all of us.
Yes.
And don't
sure you
forget
get-
to drop a like.
Yes. And all of everybody's channels is all in the description for the show. Links, everything you need is there.
Oh, hi, Divine Hazel. Welcome. Here from Maine. So, yeah, Venus, if you can type in your question, and our two guest readers. Thank you so much, Linda and Diane G, for coming in. Sorry, when we first started, I just had such a crazy hectic day. I like literally felt like I came flying in on two wheels kind of thing. So thank you for your
No
patience.
worries.
On your
And I
jet
think
powered
Lulu said there's a bad
So-
lag tonight.
Linda, should we
I-
open the records?
Try refreshing the your browser, Lulu, and yeah, we'll open the records as soon as. Oh, here we go. Oh,
May I hear about a past life of when my dog Roxy was a human?
you want me to open the records, Diane?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we're going to take 3 deep breaths together, all of us. Feel your shoulders drop. Hold the breath at the top for a few beats and let it out through your mouth. We are surrounded by the pure white light of divine source. We ask Archangel Michael to protect and guide us, and we call forth all of our angels, guides, beings of light, and Akashic Records masters to assist us now to receive information of the highest truth, highest frequency of light and love, allowing us to receive exactly what we need for our greatest good and the greatest good of humanity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We open ourselves to the light, and with this light to our highest truth and our soul's purpose. We call upon the Akashic Records masters, guardians of the records, and beings of light who serve the divine plan in truth and clarity to guide us to our highest good and the highest good of all in divine love. And we ask the Akashic Records masters to assist us in accessing the records to receive exactly what is needed for the highest truth, the highest timeline, and the greatest good for all. And with this said, Venus is given the truth to best serve her on her healing journey into the love and acceptance that is most beneficial for her to know in this moment. And I'll read that silently. The records are now open. Do you want to go first, Diane?
Okay. The first thing I asked was if your dog Roxy consents to have their Akashic records read. So I got a yes to that. just to be sure, because some of them don't give their consent. And then I asked, has Roxy ever had a past life as a human? And I'm getting a yes on this, which is very unusual, Venus. Usually, um, people just stick to being people, or beings, or being humanoids, rather, humanoids. They usually don't like cross over into being pets, because pets and animals have a different frequency, they have a different soul. So this is very unusual. So I'm going to check the records for that past life. Are they usually a human first, or are they usually in animal form? Okay, most of the time they're just in animal form. They prefer being in the animal form. Why did they become a human? Okay, I'm going to delve more into the purpose of their being human, because they're telling me that they want to learn something. I'm seeing a tiger. They were a tiger first, and Roxy experienced a lifetime where she was being hunted. She was a female tiger in that lifetime, and she was being hunted by people with rifles. Telling me this happened in Africa, and she didn't understand why. She was hurt, and this was also the cause of her death in one of her previous lifetimes as a tiger. So she wanted to become a human to understand what was going on. Why did this person shoot me? And I'm getting a female human as well. She incarnated once as a female. But she was, I'm seeing her in a forest. She spent that lifetime like taking care of nature and connecting with nature. And really just understanding how being human works. So that was the purpose of why she incarnated as a human. In that lifetime, at least. How about you, Linda? What are you getting?
Not a thing. I've got nothing to add to this.
I do, and I don't really ever. Before you said it, I said, "Why are you hurting me?" And I had the same thing. I need to understand why this human is hurting me, and that just came through. And then when you started saying that, I was just like, "Oh my goodness." Yeah, it was for that. It was to understand that cruelness and try to create that empathy for this cruel action of I don't understand, because animals they hunt. They it's either for
It's for food.
Yeah.
it's for food or territory or safety, right? Humans, it's not the same. So it's sometimes for sport, and they really wanted to understand why that behavior was happening. Wow.
Yeah. When she was being hunted, it was for sport. That's what she didn't understand. Like why did she have to suffer? That was the feeling that I got from the tiger.
Yeah, it's like a hurtful confusion. Yeah.
I don't know if any of you picked up, but what I got for the human, and of course this is kind of the vision that I got, was me looking down, very petite features, the nose, and when you said forest, this person was in the forest, and the eyelashes were very long but blonde, and very blonde, and it when Roxy was a human, was very gentle and very and very graceful, almost like just petite, and I'm trying to say very compassionate is what I picked up, and that's all I picked up. But I was like literally seeing, and it was almost like a there was a hat on, and but the features were very, very, very dainty, almost. But the lashes were long and just a very kind and gentle person.
She had that grace when she
Mhm.
lived as a human.
Yeah.
Yes. And I
Wow,
would love
that
to
was
know.
fun.
Sorry, and I would love to know if Roxy's very dainty as a
As a dog as well.
yeah, like
Yes.
very like yeah.
Oh,
Oh, are you kidding?
They're so long.
oh, and Donna, you're such a bad reader.
Yeah.
I
If she
love that
thinks this
how
is
we
bad,
all
I'm too distracted. I didn't get anywhere.
yeah.
it's
You know,
okay.
that was another question I was going to bring up earlier, but
Go
have
ahead.
you ever had a situation where you just got nothing?
Right here, right now, folks.
Yeah.
You saw it.
Sometimes it happens,
Live
and
and in color.
it's because that happened to me when I was first learning, and I was like, oh, I'm so terrible at this. But sometimes you're just not the messenger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know why. I mean, I'm way too distracted right at the moment because of the discussion and because of the chat. Like this isn't like Akashic Adventures where I've spent an hour ahead of time getting myself
Meditating.
into the headspace and preparing and meditating and saying my prayers. I have this whole thing that I go through, and then I'm ready when the show opens. I'm ready to read for whoever comes up, whatever question they've got. I didn't do that today, and I'm not prepared, and I got nothing. I tried, I got nothing. So I'll close the records now.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to ask Venus. Venus, is your dog dainty now or very gentle? And obviously with the long eyelashes.
Let's just wait for her answer.
Yeah. But I love how it's all connected because you saw how Diane and Sara both connected and
so that's generally how practice sessions go. What you're kind of seeing is a practice session in happening in front of you, because we take turns and we read and we share what we read. Oh dear, poor baby.
So it looks like she is a dainty dog.
Yeah. And there's that compassion and picking up your energy because the empathy and trying to so bless you both.
Oh,
okay, so I'm going to close the records the same way that they were open. We're going to take 3 deep breaths together, and in through your nose and out through your mouth, because you don't know how to breathe. And hold it at the top for just a few beats and then let it out gently. You don't have to blow it out. You can just let it out gently. Okay, so we offer deep gratitude to the Akashic Records Masters, the guardians, the guides, and all present today for the truth, the light, and the love received. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The records are now closed.
Sara, this creation that you put together is fantastic.
Amazing.
Bravo. Way to go. This is your very first one. You did it, girl.
Good
this
baby.
was really fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us. I had a lot of fun. This was an amazing show, and it's because you guys. Thank you so much, and our wonderful chatters.
Yes, Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for all the comments, all the interactions. It was awesome. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
we're so thankful that everybody came in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sarah, did we want to, when are we on next?
We will be doing this again on December 10th. December 10th will be our next show. Yeah, it's going to be another topic. We'll announce the topic. I can announce it. We'll announce it later. We'll keep the suspense going. Maybe.
It's your show. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Allie from Heart and Soul Connected and then Linda Kennedy are going to be on the show. And we're going to be discussing the working title is The Energy of Enough. So when to cut off, not cut off, but when is it time for you to say, I have to protect my energy, that how you do it, when to do it. And, that's the working title. It might change between then, but that's going to be the topic is how to protect yourself and how to gently say, I'm sorry, I can't help you with this anymore. That type of thing. So
that's a wonderful topic
for December.
Yeah, that's great.
Recognizing that compassion burnout as we all have, where you have such compassion, but you at what point do you recognize that you've got that compassionate burnout? But I do want to ask both Linda and Diane, what's coming up for you guys?
Diane?
Oh, I have a show next Friday with Diana Bowles. It's Galactic Akashic Records readings. So if you're interested in knowing your starseed origins, your past life as other star beings or ETs, aliens, please do drop by. It's at 5 p.m. EST. And then I will be back again on Sunday for Soul Cloud. So please check those out.
And what's happening Monday, Diane?
What's happening on Monday? I will be back again with Linda de Gonzalez and Gerald Tarot Stash. We will be doing joy readings. So I have already posted the link to that. And Linda and Gerald will be posting the simulcast for those later. Make sure that you click the notify button so you don't miss it.
And Miss Linda de Gonzalez?
What am I going to be doing tomorrow on my channel at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern? My guest on Wings of Insight is going to be Akila. She is simulcasting on her channel. So please join us for that. I forget what the topic is. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just you and Akila. It doesn't matter.
It's just me and Akila. We have, it's a real show and everything. We have a theme and we have, but and we have prompts and we have all the rest of that. Readings are going to be randomly given by the flying fickle finger of fate. On Monday, I'll be with Diane and Tarot Stash and the Joy readings, and Tuesday morning, those wonderful discussions on the duality pairs with Timmy and Maru and Gerald on the Marseille Tarot. That's at 11 o'clock Pacific and 2 o'clock Eastern. And then at 2 o'clock Pacific, Akashic Adventures. We're getting a really big viewership on Akashic Adventures now. We had 63 viewers across all three of our channels, which is the last week, which is the most we've ever had. So it's been going for a year and a half now, and people really like it. So come and join us.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
We're all simulcasting. Viviani and Diana Bowles and I all one of us hosts and the other simulcast. So, yeah. Oh,
Wanda had to say hello. Hi,
Deborah. Oh, yeah. And if you get a chance, Deborah Zakow has some books that I just ordered and got them. So thank you, Deborah. They are numerology, and it's about, I can't remember the title.
I have your number.
Yes.
I have the book too.
I know, and it's like, if you want to know about love lives and compatibility, this is
because since she has a new channel, I have your number that she's starting.
Yes.
she's starting the new channel up too, so you can.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
I got
subscribe to that.
Yeah.
So Deborah, I want to see some content.
Yeah.
No pressure, girlfriend. No
No
pressure.
pressure.
Yeah, no pressure from all of us. Yeah.
But I
We're
did
just
read
gonna
the
be
book.
looking every day.
Yeah, I did read the book, and I read more than just the chapter about me. I know it's hard to believe, but I did. and it is really well written. It's entertaining and really informative. If you don't have it, it's called I Have Your Number. And
Yes.
there's a subtitle, but I forget. It's really long.
Yes.
Dating and relationships.
Yes. Yeah.
But why people make you crazy, I think, in dating and relationships. But it's I Have Your Number. That's the title. It is really, it's worth it. It is a really interesting and very informative book. Very entertaining.
And then Deborah also has for the tarot. If you want to learn
tarot,
tarot,
decoding tarot. Oh yes, tarot decoding.
Yeah. And the book. So if you get a chance, check her out. She is on Amazon, and you can get it in Canada. So you know, not only just in the States but also here. So yeah, absolutely. I you know, so. But now I want to go to Sara. Sara, what do you have coming up just on your channel, and where are you going?
Monday, I'm doing a live with Linda Kennedy. We're just gonna shoot the breeze, do whatever. We haven't figured it out yet. We're just gonna do some readings, and then Tuesday, I have Twin Tarot Tuesday with Judy in the Skies. And then Wednesday, I will be on Cali Healer with Kelly at, I believe it's 2 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, I'll be on her show on Wednesday, and that's what I have so far. It's like the busiest week I've had, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, that sounds exciting. That you are I think it's you need to get out there and you know, show everybody what you really do have, because you are really gifted, Sara. And I mean that heartfelt, is that you are amazing. So if you get a chance, please go out and see Sara and Linda and Diane. Everybody is you know, I listen in while I'm working all day, and I giggle and I laugh, and you know, I try and join in when I can, but a lot of times, you know, so if you can, please go out and see everybody.
Don't forget about your awesome self. What are you up to?
Nothing.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, well, Sara and we're trying to do once a month where we do some chakra balancing and energy work. And then I do with the tarot camp, I'm doing once a month. I think it's the first Sunday of every month. And I do that with Govinda Ramadeen, and he's from Tarot Camp, the Christian Tarot Camp. So it is doing a little bit of energy work, the light work, we remove trapped emotions, we remove ancestral stuff. It's whatever comes up, and we help remove it, and then we also make sure that we balance the person out. And then I do some of when I get a chance, I go in and I do readings, and sometimes my readings end up being part of a healing session as well. So I will be coming out soon on one day when I get a free moment, but things have been just a little bit crazy, not only with my 9-to-5 job, but there's been other stuff after hours that have been kind of keeping me a little bit busy. And of course, every Saturday I have something that I do in person in readings. So if you're ever on Vancouver Island, send me an email and I'll let you know where I'm at. So
can we not just say it out loud?
Okay. I work at the I guess it's work, but it doesn't feel like work. So I do tea leaf readings at the Calico Cat Tea House every Saturday.
the cat, she's not going to tell you this, but the Calico Cat Tea House is a landmark on Vancouver Island. It is always jam-packed to the rafters with people who are there to have tea and cakes and scones and jam and butter or cream and all of that, waiting to have a reading from their tea leaf reader, who was the owner, or I mean, still is the owner, but has taken a step back and has chosen Donna Marie to do the readings on Saturday.
Well,
She's like the queen of readers here now. Okay.
Yes.
You can do everything, Donna.
She can. It's amazing.
Yeah.
There's two of us.
Jealous. I'm so jealous.
But there's two of us. There's Cheryl as well there, and myself, and Heather, who is owner and the matriarch of the tea house. She does the rest of the week, Sundays, and then they brought me in because they know I'm working. So I go in and I do readings on Saturdays, and who knows where life is going to bring me. I might be there a little bit more often. But it's kind of the same thing. You start doing the tea leaves, but then you get, as you know, you get the downloads, and next thing you know, you're asking them, certain questions, and it comes up because sometimes you look and there's nothing in the teacup. So it's like, come on, my guys, give me something. So
don't leave me hanging, please.
Yeah,
it
but
happens to the
food
best
is
of us.
phenomenal there. The food is really good. Terry Lynn is she runs the place, and she is Heather's daughter. Amazing group of the two of them are so welcoming, and you walk in there and it's like walking into your grandmother's house, and you've got tea, and you've got the towers of the sandwiches and the scones and the yummies and the fruit and it's welcoming, and it's so I would love to see if we could get a day where we could have a whole bunch of readers come there and do a full day of people just coming in to read.
They wouldn't have enough tables.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
But yeah.
I'm not in Canada, but I saw the place on Instagram. I went to the page, and it is so cute.
It is adorable. It is just
so cute.
It is, yeah. It is amazing. Absolutely an amazing place.
It is, and it's one of those you walk in and it's like you got a hug from grandma as soon as you walk in.
Yeah.
And I love it. Yeah. 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 So that is what I've been doing. And so in between and working and all that, I try and get on when I can live. And I love all my subscribers. Thank you so much for everybody. And I will be going live, and I will be doing a thank you for everyone who's subscribed, and I will be giving a free reading out or two. And I would love everybody to join in and have some fun with us.
Sounds fabulous, Donna Marie.
That's awesome. I can't wait.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys so much. It's been an hour and a half now. This is crazy. It doesn't seem like it's been that long because it's been such a fun show. But I just want to say thank you for coming on and being our first guest on the show and making it an amazing first show. Like, really, because I was nervous as hell coming out here. I didn't know what I was going to do. So you guys made it awesome. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
And thank you, chatters. What was that?
Thank you. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait for the next.
Yes. All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.